Coach, I know how much your group works on, late game execution over the course of the season. To see your offense execute that play and result in the Wendell dunk, how pleased were you with the result?
Well, I mean, it was the play before that, essentially, got Dez, or Jalen the three that got us back into it, and then our ability to sit down and get the stop. But then being able to push the break when the team is, not balanced in order to get the stop. But Jalen made a heck of a play after the stop to get out in transition and find Dell. I think it was big time for him to go up and finish with authority and then come back down and then get the stop at the end of the game.
Before that, what do you think wasn't working in the first half and you guys had to rally again?
I mean, there's probably a bunch that we can continue to look at, but I think what we have to do, you got to give them a ton of credit for the way they played. Clay got hot, and I think that was a big portion of it. We didn't find him a couple times in the half court as well as in transition, and I think the ball, didn't pop as much as we would like to. But you have to give them a ton of credit for how they played. He mixed up a ton of zone versus man, so it kept us on our heels a little bit. But I think our ability to stay the course the entire game is important. That's why you play 48.
What type of lift did Tristan provide off the bench?
Oh, I mean, didn't miss a shot. I think that's a pretty daggone good lift, and I think I got to give a shout out to our bench. That's another night that Goga comes in and plays the right way, does the right thing, just continues to have a presence on the rim, setting great screens, defending the right way, and then Noah did an unbelievable job in there, blocking shots, physicality. All those things are big keys to us winning games, and it's by committee as always.
Coach, to Beatty's point, from the moment Tristan came into this league, he was kind of thrown into the deep end. And tonight, he didn't just demonstrate poise down the stretch, but throughout the whole game. What can be said about how he's grown up from your perspective, from the time he's walked into this building to now?
Yeah, that's a great point, and the same as Beatty. I think it's not easy to go from starting to off the bench to back to starting to back off the bench. And so it says something about him as a professional. It says something about his work ethic and the coaches that work with him. It's not easy to do. I mean, I know it looks like that because he comes and shoots the heck out of the basketball, but the ability to do that and just play your part, whatever you've been given and tasked to do, he did that. And that's what we need from our guys every night.
Coach, we got a month left in the season. Excuse me.
That's okay. Go ahead.
You got a month left in the season, and every game counts at this point. A play like that can change a whole season. Do you recognize the magnitude of that last play and how it's going to change the group for the rest of the season?
Well, I think there's lessons you learn in it, because we made some mistakes before that. But that's the beauty of the game, that you have to play 48 minutes. I think if we're saying anything about the game, it has to be that you play 48 minutes all the way through, no matter what the heck is happening. Because it could have gone down when they got the block or the and one with Cooper. I think it's a big portion of us just continuing to play all the way through. So that's the momentum that we're going to continue to need to play 48, no matter what happens within the game, because it is a game of runs.
Kind of on that game of 48 minutes, you guys have that big third quarter run to take the lead, and then the fourth quarter struggling to make shots. How do you make sure that you guys internalize the lesson that the defense has to stay consistent even if the shots aren't falling down? I know that's been a little bit of a recurring theme throughout the course of the season.
And that's just what we have to do. You keep talking about it. You get on the court. You work on it. You watch the film. All those things are a big key for us. No matter what happens within the game, it's a 48-minute game. And knowing that they're going to go on runs, we're going to go on runs, that's the game of basketball. And you have to know that one run is not going to derail you. But you got to make sure you stay the course throughout the entire game. Your spirit has to stay the right way. Your energy has to stay the right way. And I think that's what these guys did on the back end of this game, not letting anything rattle us and just continue to play all the way through.
Coach, I know you didn't probably have a chance to see it, but at halftime, the organization honored Joel among some other employees for 30 years of service. Just your thoughts on Joel.
I'm telling you right now, I cannot say enough about Joel Glass and what he's meant to this organization, and more than anything, what he's meant to me. I mean, and I say it, and you guys will probably go back and look at it. Probably some of my first summer league interviews were atrocious. And his ability to talk me through and coach me through, and I'm trying to be coachable, he's done a heck of a job, and he means so much to this organization, more than people even realize. Thank you.
Tristan, I know how much you guys work on late game execution. Your thoughts on your group's ability to not only come up with that stop, but then execute on the other end with a nice pass from Jalen to Wendell.
Yeah, I feel like it shows a great amount of poise to be able to, execute down the stretch and not get caught up in the heat of the moment and get emotional about it. So, kudos to Jalen, obviously, for making that big shot at the end, for setting up Wendell to go ahead late. And, he's been making great plays for us.
Back-to-back games where you guys have had to rally in the second half. Just what can you guys take away from that with just a month left in the regular season?
Wait, say that again?
The fact that you had to rally, on Tuesday and then again tonight after trailing early. Just how do you guys build off of that?
Yeah, just looking at the film. We'll be back tomorrow, and then taking steps in the right direction, learning from it, how to be more consistent, how to carry that momentum, especially in the stretches where we do play really, really well together and really good basketball. I feel like those are the ones that we really got to hone in and get more of. But at the end of the day, basketball is a game of runs, and we gotta be aware of that and not panic, and then just try to limit opponents' runs as much as possible.
The bench was a big boost. You're part of that. Just can you guys sense that when you guys enter the game off the bench that you can make a difference like that for this team?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, in my opinion, we're a really deep team. We got guys on the bench that don't get as much playing time, but should be deserving of that. And it shows. I feel like you could see last game with Goga. Even tonight, Noah coming in got us some great energy off the bench and some great plays. So yeah, it's obviously a little bit of a comfort factor to have a bench like that and know that we can sustain the level that we play at once we get to subbing.
Tristan, from the moment you've come into this league, you were thrown into the deep end, asked to do a lot. You've had fluctuating roles. How have those experiences helped lend to the kind of performance you had tonight?
Yeah, I mean, obviously last year with Franz and Paulo being out, I feel like I kind of had to experience a lot and grow a lot as a player. But it's all, it's all for my betterment. It's all stuff that I, take near and dear to my heart, and I cherish those opportunities that I've had over the last couple months and over the, this season, last season. And it just helps me grow as a person, as a player. More experience, more looks, more confidence, more trust from teammates and in teammates. So, feels good, obviously, to have a performance like this. But I also know that it's a continuous process, and I'll be back tomorrow. Working on the stuff that I work on every day, and that's what it's really all about, finding that routine and that rhythm. And yeah, this last year and a half has helped me a great deal with that.
Thanks, Tristan.
Great question. Thank you.
Jalen, since you were the guy with the court vision on the final sequence, just take us through what you saw after the stop and what eventually led to Wendell's game-winning dunk.
Just trying to get it, start to get it up the floor, see if we caught timeout or not. He let us rock. They did a good job flowing into the drag instead of just stalling out and letting the ISO play. Got a good hit, which led to the big stepping up, and he was wide open. So, I thought about shooting it. Good roll and good finish by Dell. So I think he made the play on that one, to be honest. All I had to do was facilitate it.
Wendell, similar question. What did you see when the ball came towards you and turned for the dunk? And then how important was it to get that stop after that?
It started with the stop. We did a really good job of, baiting them into a tough two. Got a good box out. And I knew Gafford was behind me on the way down the court, so I thought it would have been a good idea to go into a quick drag, to put him in no man's land. And then, like Jay said, he just found me on the roll, and I finished the play.
What was talked about in that timeout after Wendell's dunk, and you guys had to get one more stop like that?
Just to lock in, be key on our midnights, make sure that we are contact switching, and don't give up no easy baskets at the rim. I think everybody did a pretty good job in their switches. Tristan did a good job. Was over in his first one. There was some indecision. They slipped out of the one with me and Dez. He did a good job staying there and forced a turnover. So I think that was executed pretty well, just in terms of one more stop. But, everybody did a solid job on that last possession. That's all we're talking about, though.
You guys saw over the last 2 years how important every game is at this time of year and how one game can be the difference between, home court advantage or being in the play-in in a lot of ways. Down by 4 with 40 seconds ago, what was talked about in that huddle before Jalen's three, and how important was it to kind of squeeze every second of this game to try and get the win?
Yeah, we've been here plenty of times around this time of the season. One game can decide, play in or play guaranteed playoff spot. So it's important for us to take care of as many games as possible, especially going forward. Right now I think it's like 1 or 1.5 games from being out of the play-in altogether. So I think we just gotta continue to just stack our wins. No matter who we're going against, these are NBA guys, night in and night out. Not to pay attention to anyone's record. Obviously, like tonight, we only won by 1 point. So I think, coming out of that timeout, it was about finding a way to win that game. So that's kind of what happened.
What does it say about this team's resolve to make that kind of? I mean, it was 4 possessions, 2 baskets, 2 stops. But what does it say about this team's resolve to find it there?
Go ahead, bro. We're going back and forth.
I wanted him to answer. Man, it's great. Like you said, everybody wants to win in here. Everyone wants to do their job, play great for the next man, and like I said, so that we can stack up wins. And never gonna play perfect, but I think just staying locked in. Like again, since I've been here, we would struggle at the end of games. Third and fourth quarters, give up leads, and that's where we'd lose the game. I think right now. We're not starting how we would love to, but I think our third quarters have really stepped up and been pretty solid. And then once we get to the fourth, we've been pretty decent in terms of locking it in, starting to shut teams down and get pretty solid looks. So I think for everybody, just staying confident, staying with the process, understanding what time of year it is. It's going to be that much more physical. The games are going to be that much more heightened, and details are going to matter just a little bit more. So I think good job from everybody. Noah came in and played great minutes, a lot of good boards, some great defense. Like I said, Silky was elite tonight, and that's what it is. It ain't always you, but can you cheer and pick up the next man to go help us win a game? And I think everybody did that for the most part.
How important is it to keep a level head when you're in these sort of situations, coming off a game winner, or coming off of that 3 and then going into the game winner, to keep a level head as you're trying to defend against that last second?
I mean, that's what you kind of live for. You live to be in those moments. Like I said, we just love to be in those moments. That's something that we all live for. We dreamed of as we was kids. So, to be out there, crunch time. We got open shots. We made them. Now we move on to the next game. So we don't want to dwell on it. Like, it was a good win, good game-winning bucket, but there's a lot of things that we can still clean up. So we're not even in that position. So.
And Jalen, how happy are you for Wendell, who has been dubbed the unsung hero of this team, one of the most versatile centers in the league, and he's asked to do the dirty work for this team? How cool is it to just have that moment and be a part of that moment with Wendell?
Yeah, very dope. He was so explosive after he made the bucket and running back. He was jubilant, if you will. Yeah, there it is. Thank you. Nah, man, this my brother. He's held me down since I first come into the league, man. He's helped me grow. For us, it's bigger than basketball. Outside of the lines is where our relationship truly resides and where the value lies. So, like I said, when we come in here and play, I try to do my best to keep him in a good mind state, keep him smiling and laughing, and he does the same for me. And I just think it's very important as these years go on, man, and they're long. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some, you're going to play great, you're going to have really rough stretches. It's just the way that the NBA goes. But, we laugh, we talk about life, we're helping each other grow, and I think that's that's really all that matters. So to see him get buckets, playing well, and obviously, like you're talking about, just get that end of the game moment. Not only the bucket, the box out really was huge. Actually, we needed that so that we could go score on the other end. Yeah, it's elite. He does a lot of things for us that don't get talked about. And Cole, he shot 6 shots. You know what I'm saying? You can complain, you can ask for more. It just comes in and works, and it's part of our identity. It is how elite and forceful he is. So yeah. Nice job, Delius.
Appreciate it, brother.
Wendell. What the Wendell? I'm trolling, bro. I got to get out of here, bro. Are we good? We good? You got one more?
Hi, Jalen. I'm Gabriel from Puerto Rico. I want to know what was your mentality during your last shot, and second, how you feel during this time of the season and road to the playoffs.
Yeah, like I said, it's a fun time of year to hoop. It's the most competitive time of year. You can start getting everybody's best shot. And I mean, you're dealing with every team who's been playing a full season up to this point. It doesn't want to let all that go to waste and just chalk it up to another season. So, like I said, like he said, these are the moments you live for. Honestly, this is the time of year where you really want to play. This is what all the summer work is for, so that when you get in these last couple months and you're headed in playoff time, you feel confident about who you are, what you can do, what you can bring to a team. So, like I said, it's a fun time to hoop, man. Big shots are going to be had. Big plays are going to be made. There's going to be a ton more physical basketball and a ton more laughter and fun to be had. So I'm really just looking forward to this home stretch with our brothers and, like I said, having the city come together for another playoff run.
For either of you guys have been here for the entirety of Tristan's NBA journey. He's been asked to do a lot in various roles, and then he comes out with a performance like tonight. How happy are you guys for him, and how would you describe his growth these last 2 seasons?
He's one of those guys, probably one of the hardest workers on his team. He's in before practice, he's in after practice, getting up plenty of shots. He's a pro's pro. He does all the little things, takes care of his body. From going to sleep at night, I'm sure, at a good time to, just working hard. He's one of those guys that, when he has nights like tonight, you're happy for him. We're seeing that hard work pay off, and he's just getting started. This is early years in the NBA. I know he's got so many more layers to him as a person than just his game that he's going to add as he keeps going. But it's always amazing to see a guy like that who puts countless hours into the craft to come out and have a game. Oh, he ain't miss a shot? Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, that's crazy.
Just to kind of add to that, 45 bench points and 19 of them coming from Tristan da Silva. What can you say about his confidence and efficiency as well, and to have that kind of boost come from your bench unit as well?
Yeah, he's one of those guys, like I was saying, that can change a game. Offensively, he's so gifted. When he's getting open looks, we almost anticipate him making all his shots like tonight. So, and he just plays the right way. He plays to win. He got his open shots tonight, but sometimes he's just facilitating, coming off of pick and rolls, DHOs, whether it's throwing lobs, kicking out to other 3-point shooters. So he just plays the right way. And tonight he had the hot hand. So that's something that we can expect from him when he gets open looks.
Thanks, guys. Thank you, guys.
Good job, man.